they've actually started the draft.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what is going to be the next couple of picks that they're going to go for, because we've been seeing some really interesting drafting tactics coming in here today. We've been seeing a lot of triple warrior and a lot of even single warrior as well. So we've already got that draft started up here. 2Arc Gaming is going to be second pick, so Nova Gaming is going to pick up that first Jaina ban, and then we're going to see that Zeratul ban coming out there from 2Arc.
And finally, a first pick, Uther. Nova Gaming not willing to give that one up. Basics very likely to be playing that one out, as he is, I believe, their support player. 2Arc, again, just really showing us that the NA really does favor Kale as a first. Leoric, however, will be their second, and this should lead Nova into a pretty clear-cut Johanna pick.
Yeah, they're going to pick up Johanna because she's just so good on Sky Temple. She's got a lot of that AoE kind of crowd control, punish, condemn, etc. And Sky Temple is really one of those maps where you really want to focus on that type of AoE damage as well as just survivability. She's got that iron skin. They go for Invala. Very, very quick off the bat there for their damage dealer and Johanna as well.
All right, Vala and Jojo.
I stand
Yeah,
ready.
so I mean, the clear-cut Johanna. This is Sky Temple as a note going into it. Finally, you know, if it's not 3 cursed temples, it's probably going to be 3 Sky Temples. Cursed Hollows, that is, in the Sky Temples. But 2Arc Gaming saying that they're not willing to actually give away an Abathur.
Yeah, interestingly enough. I mean, they see the Uther. They want to make sure that that's not going to be an Abathur plus some other type of melee warrior. It could be Kerrigan, could be, I mean, more likely an Illidan, something like that. But they don't want to deal with that split push Abathur at all. So they ban that out. They now are up at bat. We see the Muradin getting banned out there from Nova Gaming, afraid of some auto attack possibly.
Well, I mean, they already got the Johanna, and with the Vala coming into it, I mean, Muradin can easily Guma Stomp. They also might be going for another backline DPS, like a Zagara, for example. Just saw Zagara in full-fledged form just in the last round, is right. So 2Arc is not going to give them that option. They're just going to take it for themselves. And this will leave us with, they need a support. I mean, if they want to hide that last pick, support now would probably be the Malfurion. But if they don't actually care which one they want to get, or they want to prioritize another damage dealer or the second tank, because a single tank Leoric just almost never works in these kind of matches.
Well, what's really interesting is that Nova Gaming has to pick up their other warrior as well. So 2Arc is definitely going to pick up. Ooh, I take that back. I thought they were going to go for their warrior before Nova Gaming is able to pick up their last. And we see the triple warrior. That's why we see the Muradin ban get banned out there by Nova. They want to eliminate the possibility of the reverberation slowing down those auto attacks.
Yep.
Tyrael Sonya coming in there for Nova Gaming. Let's talk about Diablo tanks.
This feels very Korean at this point. 2Arc, it feels like, I mean, they have to put somebody else on that front line. Leoric versus Sonya does not typically work out for the Leoric, but they need another frontliner with Muradin out, Tyrael out, Johanna. That leaves us with, what, a Nubarak? Chen? Diablo? Stitches? Arthas. Where's our Arthas? He was like 100% pick ban rate in the Vegas Championships last week, and we haven't seen him once today.
I think Arthas probably would be their pick here.
Arthas almost feels like it has to be, yeah. He has great self-healing, the zone control he brings with the ice, with the temp, and he can Syndragosa. Although I'm not sure he would in this, but
yeah, he'd probably go for Living or Army of the Dead here if he really wants to. I don't really see anything. If there's a Kael'thas in the enemy team, then you don't go for Army of the Dead. But if you have the possibility of having that Arthas, you pick up Army of the Dead. I don't think Syndragosa is going to be able to help them out that much against a triple warrior composition. But the Army of the Dead will definitely keep him alive for a lot longer.
Yeah, it feels like it'll be an army game. Depends on how well, I guess, 2Arc fares in the early game, because the triple warrior, I mean, again, like, we're looking at defend the point style gameplay in Sky Temple. You got to get to the temple and you got to win it out. The Tyrael, the Sonya, I mean, they're going to be fairly self-reliant on their own kind of healing. Tyrael, of course, a bit more shield reliant. Johanna, of course, it would just be Johanna because she's just a bloody jerk like that. But Uther and the Divine Shield, it almost feels like Sonya is going to be the big target there. So she gets Wrath, goes in, gets a shield. There's not much 2Arc can do about that.
Quite right. So that Sonya is going to be the biggest issue that they're going to have to deal with, trying to make sure that Sonya does not get to the back line. Ooh, already using that Sonya. Oh, I forgot the name of the Sonya skin that just came out. The like Ultra or Super Sonya. That's it. Super Sonya. I love that skin so much.
Yeah, a lot of people do. It's definitely. mean, is it legendary or is it only epic? I think it's legendary.
I think it's legendary. Check out the shop. So yeah, they've got a really great composition. I'm just still a huge fan of the Triple Warrior composition. It's epic. And I feel like it's going to work to great effect here.
I hope they're not waiting on us.
Oh, I should probably say, go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
It's always a gamble with some of these teams. Just like, are they waiting on us? Do they know we're ready? I don't know.
It goes back and forth with a lot of different teams, I find. It's like, I remember casting DreamHacks for StarCraft. It's like some teams will, or some players will just wait for casters, and some will just like, I don't want to deal with casters. Let's go to game 3 without having the caster in here.
Yeah, that's not exactly going to be.
It's not the best for them, but all right. So game number 1 coming on in here. This is, of course, the semifinals between Nova Gaming and 2Arc Gaming. Let's see who's going to be able to take this game and go on into the finals. On the other side of the bracket, we've got Team Blaze versus Bang Bang. That would have been another great game to watch as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch that later on with minimal amount of spoilers.
Team Blaze is still not reported, so like they're still waiting. God, if they finish this game before we even get through that one,
that'd be perfect.
All right, so 3 Cursed Hollows now into 2 Sky Temples. Big 3-lane maps are definitely what we've been seeing a lot of today. No Dragon Shards, no Tombs. I don't think you'll ever see a Garden of Tyranny again, but we'll see, man. We'll see as we come on into it.
All right, game number 1 has started up here. 2Arc over here on the left-hand side. We've got Crone on the Zagara. We've got Insomnia on the Malfurion. LZ Gamer hanging out there on the Kael'thas. Arthas being played by Sunshine. And we've got Traitor yet again on his Leoric.
And on the flip side, of course, this is Nova Gaming. Basics is actually going to be on that Uther. Boss Floss, Nesper, Hawk Fu. Not on his traditional Sergeant Hammer, but I'll take a Vala. And Killick. I think it's actually just, yeah, it's just Killick there. So the Triple War is coming into this. A little bit of a damage-heavy, warrior setup, especially depending on what Tyrael wants to run. But who will die for the eye, Kev?
That's the question. We've got a nice Entangling Roots going down there onto Boss Floss, but he will be able to disengage. A nice Drain Hope coming in there from Trainer to get a little bit of that damage soaking as well as damage done onto Boss Floss. Drain Hope is a huge issue for Triple Warriors just because of how much it soaks as well as how much damage it deals, because Warriors are typically known for their high health pools, and Drain Hope does that percentage of health damage.
That ambush is actually really cool to watch from Nova, but it will not yield. There's just, I guess, a little bit too much of a telltale that it was coming in. It is actually going to be Purge Evil here from our Tyrael. You got Shot of Fury there at level 1 for our Sonias. We've actually seen 2 different level 1 talents now out of Sonias today. But as I said, with Killick there on that Tyrael, he could actually end up doing a lot of damage by the end game if he starts stacking up those Smite talents.
A hyper-aggressive Tyrael at that, so that's going to be really great for just kind of being a really great bully for the backline. He picks up that Judgment later on. You're quite right. That could be a huge issue for Kael'thas or Zagara later on.
Now, somebody actually in chat said that Sonya just destroys Arthas, and I do think that they have the right of it, because immediately Nesper went from all the way from the top into the bottom just to start bullying around that Arthas. Nothing that you can really do, I think, to stop any of those whirlwinds coming in.
No, the Howling Blasts have to be on point and before the whirlwinds actually come in there. But we've got the temple phase now spawning up here, and we're seeing the top temple go on over here right now to our friends in the red, and the blue team has grabbed
Sonya! Sonya's down.
What was that? Bot lane.
Sunshine 1.
So remember when we were saying that Arthas loses to Sonya?
Of course, there's a degree of skill that has to come into this as well. I mean, Trader versus Boss Flash, typically Leoric will win out against trades against the Johanna, but he is totally losing that as well. He doesn't have that spooky hand. Okay, he does, so he'll survive for now. But still, during all this time, the lasers have been going out as well. LZ Gamer has just been trying to poke this top. And with the Triple Warrior, I mean, we got a warrior in every lane. It's hard to take down anybody.
Right, we can already see Trader being completely pushed away once Nesper joined in here. LZ Gamer now coming in here, throwing down some living bombs, and we're gonna see Nesper try and soak up as much as he can with the whirlwind. They pick up the last couple of shots there, and that's actually a really nice victory for them. They got a lot of those temple shots in for both sides, both temples. Nesper does have to back up for a little bit of damage from the Drain Hope, but for now, It's actually quite in favor of 2Arc in terms of the experience. They've only got 1 takedown advantage, but still 6-5 is going to be the advantage soon enough.
So, a lot of that is attributed to the bottom lane soak being missed out because Sunshine got, you know, that solo kill. Nesper's not going to be able to solo these bruisers very easily. No, he's going to get some help here as well. But Nesper not into that bottom lane. I think he missed, what, two creep waves before Arthas came up to help anyone. So that's a majority of this difference. The towers as well also tells a tale. Mid is absolutely wrecked, but top is actually in favor of Nova. So yeah, I do think it's really just that one kill had a huge impact on the experience game.
And that is one of the biggest issues of having like those massive kills and then not having somebody rotate immediately to that lane. You losing to all those creep waves is pretty big. We see Sunshine now getting the reverse takedown, getting taken down, I should say, by Nova Gaming. The reverse takedown, yeah. The reversal here, because he was the one who took out Nesper before. And they're now going to get the extra soak. And we can see already that level experience is going to go back into an even state between these two games.
Kill for kill and nobody to rotate and pick up a lot of those mercenaries, or a lot of those creeps. So, I mean, yeah, we'll maintain it here for blue for now. But look at the top. The top is just getting so heavy and into it. The bruiser camp versus bruiser camp. 3 of Nova now pushing in. We do actually have those giants now taken, Nesper and Killick, but they're getting collapsed upon. Could that be it for Tyrion?
Oh, yes, it is. And he's going to try and use his explosion to do something, but nothing happens from it. They're going to take out those siege giants that were claimed, and so they're going to have, or at least one of them, they're going to have a pretty nice advantage going on into this bottom temple phase as it's spawning up here in the next 3 seconds. That's going to be probably pretty good in favor here of 2Arc. They're already in position, but there is a chance for Nova to come in here and break through this.
All right, Nesper going for it. He will actually get hit by that gravity and rooted. They're really trying to limit this Sonya possibilities.
Does he have a fountain available? It doesn't look like it. He was, yeah, he's just staying away from it, so it doesn't look like he's got a fountain available to come back on into the fight.
He does not.
But he's got those Shot of Furies, so he can possibly
now.
Just, yeah. Right now, we're just going to wait for Sunshine to soak up as many of the temple shots as possible. He does come back in to this fight. We got a 5v5 coming on in here.
Where's that howling? Is it going to be going for Nesper? Are they got the roots on top of Unstoppable Johanna. She's already used that iron skin, so it looks like they're just going to have to collapse backwards on this one. There's just not enough to kind of break through the range damage potential. I mean, the Crone's getting so many free shots. LZ Gamer's able to stop so many of the advances with the gravity laps, and that could lead into a potential collapse. So this will be bottom fort? No, not quite, but it did clear away those shots, put us at the level 9. So almost a whole level again, just kind of coming into this one. We're going to see those heroics soon.
Right, and, you know, at least it's going to be not a heroic fight for this temple in favor of 2Arc, but, ooh, a huge Howling Blast is going to grab Killick as well as Boss here. And we're going to see Killick take a good amount of damage. The little bit of damage from the Hydra could be able to finish him off if he's just not able to get away. Hydra does despawn, but now the fort is completely vulnerable, and we actually see our poor little Johanna fall as well. So this is a great pickup here from 2Arc. They are now 10-9 in terms of the team levels, and they've got their heroics. We got the Army of the Dead, Devouring Maw, Phoenix, March of the Black King, and Tranquility.
Yeah, a lot of the AoE zoning possibilities coming into that. March of the Black King on the back of a Root, on the back of a Howling Blast, on the back of a Devouring Maw. There's a lot of setup here from 2Arc that we saw previously in some of their other games here today as well. If they can actually land, you know, a nice 2-3-man Maw, could actually just be a game over right there from Nova. And, you know, that gamble into the bottom lane, they saw 2 people showing outside of that temple, but they still couldn't win the 3-on-3, and now they're really falling behind because of it.
Curious to see what these next couple of heroic levels are going to be able to do here for Nova Gaming. I mean, they've got the heroics up. They've got pretty much everything expected. Wrath of the Berserker, Judgment, Strafe, Blessed Shield, and Divine Shield. But can they make anything happen at this? Look at the aggressive positioning on the map from 2Arc.
All right, we got ults on both sides. Everything is up and ready to go. Judgment onto the Kale feels like kind of that's what Killick's going to be rolling here for. But past that, I mean, Wrath of the Berserker, we got the Divine Shield. If we can get Sonya into the back line with the shield, I mean, she can really do a big number. And, well, Trader's going to be the guy in the front, but no, they're going for Arthas? I don't know. There's not really a lot of tasty options here, is there?
Yeah, they're just kind of trying to push them away from being so aggressively positioned on the map, I feel like, at this point.
Well, it's going to be successful. 2Arc is the one to break. We do actually now have those giants coming up here as well. And good timing. if Nova wanted to go for the bottom and they have those Giants pushing, that's a guaranteed bottom. But they're not.
Yeah, I figure they're just gonna let these Siege Giants do what they can. Sunshine's gonna have to go down there to defend that, and that's gonna allow them to have that 5v4 advantage in the top lane. So Nova might be able to even this up a little bit. Judgment going down there onto the Kael'thas. LZ Gamer trying to get away there. Really nice gravity left. Give him a little bit more zoning. Condemn coming in there with the punish. And a strafe to really tie up that team fight. That's going to be able to pick up that Kael'thas at least, but they get the return on Boss Floss. He falls now. With the Drain Hope on Killick, that's a lot of healing going back there to Trader. Can they actually take him out or grab this temple?
Spear? Yep, Spear's ready to go. Nesper has that one. Good positioning from him. Trader had to go right through him for the Ghost, and with that Wrath of the Berserker, I mean, Nesper does not hit lightly at this point. That was actually, what, 2 for 1 by the end of it, I think? Yeah, they lost out Boss Floss, but that was it. And you are going to get that top temple, but remember, Sunshine, again, like he negated the push. They still actually have the Stone Bro down here pushing on his own. We have the bottom temple now clearing out the rest of this top forward. Ooh, who showed themselves top? Trader didn't leave. He came back as a ghost and died immediately again.
Yeah, Leoric is sometimes hyper-aggressive with his ghost positioning, and I guess maybe didn't really think about how soon it was going to be when he was going to respawn, so he just kind of stayed there for a good amount of time. Basics is going to be able to pick up the rest of this temple. Actually, no, Trader is going to spawn up here, and they're going to back up.
There's one shot left on it.
Yeah, he could have stayed there and picked up those last couple of shots, but
okay.
He was probably just a little bit afraid of dealing with Trader by himself.
Okay, well, I mean, it's not the end of the world. A few shots there, it just takes out... Wow, they all landed on one tower. That's bad luck. But that top keep tower is not going to be faring so well. This bottom is continually getting pushed in against Nova as well. Killick and Boss Floss find Trader once more, but I think their efforts should be definitely focused on these Mercs. If they can push with the Mercs, well, there's no fort there to get. So what's their end goal here? They just actually opportunistically pushing?
Yeah, I don't think there's really much of a goal there, so they realize that they back up, but they are going to fight for this Vision Tower here. A huge Maw is going to grab 3 members there. Boss Floss is going to get completely focused down. During that, the Entangling Roots outside of the Maw was massive, and that's going to allow them to pick up 4 kills there.
That's
and
so Tuark.
Akfu, can he get away?
Body
no,
block, body block. Nope.
Oh, the Howling Blast the last second. Beautiful play there from Tuark. They'll be able to go straight through to this keep.
Yeah, that should... 6 seconds for Uther, not exactly the biggest deal. You got Johanna coming up. Not sure they're actually going to get the keep. I don't think the death timers really too much in their favor.
They're a little bit too afraid there.
They also split pushing.
13.
Yeah, but they're also still split pushing. LZ's in the mid. He's getting a lot of damage on these towers as well. And there's the 16-13 split. So, yeah, Tuark, this is what they've been doing all day. They get really good... All day?
All day.
All day. They get really good zoning ults, you know, between the Zeratul and the Zagara, and then they just collapse and win team fights.
And that's netting them quite a victory so far. 16-14 in those levels, and they pick up another set of Siege Giants. The boss is up, but a double temple phase is coming up here as well. If Tuark gets a really nice victory out of this temple phase, I mean, really at this point, all they have to do is just figure out where Nova Gaming is trying to go. They take a fight there because Nova just has to play defensive. As soon as they get whiff that Tuark is coming over to them, they just have to leave. So they just play this bounce back and forth, possibly pick up a boss because it's 16-14. Tuark is in definitely the position here to throw the game, but I don't know what Nova's call here is.
All the ults are up, and you don't want to face a 16, especially, well, 17 now. Especially when they're about to hit 15 themselves. We talked about this. If you're 15, you're about to hit 16, you never fight. Well, when the opponents have a whole talent tier on top of you, it's the same kind of logic. So they're just going to trade this out for now. I think the timings are relatively the same, so I'm not entirely too sure there's going to be any room to steal. But, I mean, look at this. Tuark, they're thinking about it. They want to do maybe a 4v5. Trader's really far forward here.
Yeah, I mean, he can be, though. He is Leoric. There is a huge judgment going down there on the LZ game. He immediately pops that arcane shield. He's going to be able to stay alive for a little bit longer, but the Maw is going to be able to grab 2 people, but LZ still falls. Hawkfu with a great strafe to do a lot of damage, but is it going to be enough? The March of the Black King does pick up the Tyrael there, and we see the Wraithwalk to re-engage. coming in there from Trader, going for Boss Floss now. Nope, gonna back up for now. Sunshine finally coming up there from the bottom temple with the Frozen Tempest slowing down Boss Floss enough. It looks like Crone and him are gonna go.
He still has Iron Skin.
Back up, yeah.
So he'll be okay. We did actually have the Divine Shield on top of Nesper there for that engage with that Whirlwind. So, I mean, 2Arc, the capitalization on the Kael'thas was the right call. He was a little bit far forward. It took too long to kill him, though. And then Sunshine came up from the bottom, and even at a 1-for-1 trade, I mean, we still lost out the rest of those shots here from Nova.
Yeah, and ooh, actually, Sunshine gonna get a really nice set of potty blocking against him, and that's gonna allow for Nova to pick up another kill there. And that's gonna give him a pretty good advantage here because they did pick up 16 as well. That's even talent tiers. What can they do with this is the question. Boss is really pushing it, but it looks like they just want to go for pushing in this bottom fort.
All right, so Trader gets out, no problem. This bottom fort is basically forfeit at this point. LZ and Crone are getting some bruisers, so they're going to get some counter pressure top, and that's kind of what they want because this is a naked keep in that top lane. So they're going to try to abuse the positioning of Nova right now and get some of these top objectives. I'm a little surprised they didn't rush for the other bruisers. I mean, there's no more forts to protect, and you knew exactly where the opponent's team were. But I think the timing would have actually been very favorable for them. But now, yes, as you can see, that's exactly where Nova's going to go. Oh, so they're going to, okay. They're going to use that positioning now to go for the boss. Okay.
Perfect.
One more step ahead. One more step ahead.
Yeah, perfect is exactly what I have to say here for 2Arc's decision making. They force everybody to go up into the top lane. They use that couple of seconds just to take down the boss. That boss melted because they've got so much damage from their backline. That Crone and LZ Gamer damage was just too much for the boss to handle. The boss now has been convinced to fight for 2Arc, gonna push down that bot lane, and 2Arc can use this to pressure that top keep.
So again, like, there's no forts up there. There's no forts into the top. So even with, like, Nova pushes 3 or 4 waves with those remaining mercenaries up there, it's not the end of the world because there's nothing for them to get.
What is Nova's call here? They have to try and force off 2Arc for the time being.
There's no good call at all.
Yeah, there's no good calls. This is a great positioning here from 2Arc, and it's going to force them into a lot of terrible decisions. We see the boss does take out that bottom keep. We've got another set of Siege Giants behind that as well.
Yeah.
Of course, that could take out your core if you're not careful, so they have to defend this. That's 2Arc's victory condition for the time being, and now the other temple is going to start wailing away on that keep.
Even with the footsies there in the mid, just threatening the mid keep, I mean, it did enough work there for the boss to kind of do what it needed to do. And then immediately straight up top, there's only one temple here. It's all going to go over to 2Arc. They're level 20 now as well. Nova, I mean, Hawk Fu, you don't want to be standing there, bro. All right, cool. He actually finds it. But, I mean, at this point, 2Arc it's their game. It is totally their game to lose right now.
Exactly. It's level 20 as well. They got those Storm Talents coming in there. We got the double Hardened Shield, double Bolt, and a Storm Shield on there. On the Insomnia's Malfurion, and so this is just a lot of sustainability, a lot of escaping and repositioning that's available now to 2Arc over their opponents, Nova Gaming. Boss Floss coming on in here, but he's so incredibly low, he gets immediately limited. Killing is going to be possibly the next one to go down. The Tranquility is actually not used. He does use the Ice Block just before the Tranquility goes off, but it's still enough to take this huge entire fight. Crone really low, and they're waiting for Nesper to come out of the maw, and that's going to be another takedown. 5 deaths for Nova Gaming. 2Arc goes straight for core.
I mean, that's going to be core, and that's going to be game right there. 2Arc will advance here to the finals. I got to give Nova credit at the end. They really split up a lot of their team fights, and I'm just kind of using the mouse to illustrate. I mean, we had people positioned also spread out over this point, and that kind of let, I mean, Crone didn't really have a good maw target, and that's been the MO so far, right? A big maw into the collapse, and 2Arc was not really able to do that. That's why she had the maw all the way to the end, and, well, kept him alive, and they could secure the team wipe for it, but, I mean, Nova, those maws, man, like, it's just like what we saw in the quarterfinals. It was just the maw is the Zeratul at that point, but yeah, like, those collapses are so good from 2Arc.
As soon as you get the great maws that really just section off 3 members, 4 members, 5 members of those team, and you're able to really throw down those great entangling roots as you're coming out of it, or you just really just stack up all the AoE in the same area. It's just far too much for an opponent team to really deal with. And we could see that time and time again. It happened this game, it happened last game. It's pretty much been happening every single game we've been watching, where you get those really great AoE setups. And 2Arc took perfect advantage of those. So they'll move on into the finals, and we'll see exactly if we're going to be able to get into the other semifinal side, which is Blaze versus Bang Bang. Or
Yeah.
are we going to...
Yeah,
that's we're going to be able to see it?
Well, do you have any of them on your friends list? I don't have any Blaze on my list.
I don't have friends.
Oh, rip.